Hello, everyone. My name is Sean. I am the Crypto Smith. I do appreciate you guys checking out another video, clicking on the link there or the button or the play thing, whatever it is you clicked on to get here. I do appreciate it. Today's video, I'm going to do a little news style. I'm going to give you a couple of different stories and how they relate to the financial reset, if you believe in that sort of thing. And we're just going to discuss a little bit about Stellar XLM and then Binance and the whole SWIFT situation going on right now, which may turn out to be nothing, but it is worth discussing. So let's jump right into this one. Let's start with Bitcoin is at $22,700, which is nice to see. Total market cap for crypto is now just over 1 trillion again. And if you look at Bitcoin's chart from where we were a month ago, I mean, it's looking pretty impressive. I don't know if this is a bull run. It doesn't seem like it to me. Could easily be a trap, but there really isn't any difference in the overall financial market. So I don't see why this would be, the beginning of a bull run. But it is nice to see some green in the market, having been in this bear for so long. But now let's just jump right into the Stellar news, the Stellar XLM. Foundation behind XRP rival Stellar XLM, which, just kidding, right off the bat. I don't know why they keep saying rivals. I don't believe they are really competitors. They do similar things in different ways. So they're not really competitors. I don't believe XLM and Stellar can do the same things that Ripple and XRP can do. They're just not set up that way. Ripple has massive networks already set up all over the world with different banks, financial institutions, different central banks and governments, and they're on so many different high-level committees, and XLM just isn't there. So to call them rivals is, I don't know, a little bit misleading. But anyway, so Stellar XLM is tapped for a position on a new Cftc advisory committee. Pretty exciting. I hold both tokens, XRP and XLM, so to me, this is great news. So this says Stellar XLM will represent the digital asset industry in the Commodities Future Trading Commission's relaunched Global Market Advisory Committee, GMAC. In the new company blog post, Stellar Development Foundation says it will be one of 4 crypto-related firms to join the committee alongside representatives of traditional finance. The inclusion of the digital asset markets in the GMAC's priority demonstrates the importance of blockchain and crypto to the future of U.S. markets, right? This is where we're going, and this is good to see. Why? Because now there's a representative of us, us out here in the crypto space on a high level kind of advisory board, and they sit on this board with other financial giants like J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and BlackRock, but they are the only one that's representing a blockchain. So Stellar says that since they're the only firm on the committee representing blockchain, they hope to bring a unique perspective of Layer 1 protocols to the table. This is what is needed. It probably should have been done years ago, but it's nice that they're doing it now. This is how this also relates to the Great Reset, the financial reset, if you subscribe to that theory. And I want to talk a little bit about this happening. It's going to happen one way or the other. It's going to happen at some point in the future. To me, probably the next 5 to 10 years. And it could happen all at one time where we just switch over to digital payments. It could be some major black swan event, or it could be a slow burn, and they could really just kind of, slowly roll out different regulations and rules and kind of start cutting back on cash payments. And that's been floated out there in several different countries. And just to explain, let's say today or tomorrow they came out with a law that says you can no longer hold or pay for anything in cash over $5,000, right? Okay, most of us don't really walk around with $5,000 paying for things in cash anyway, but that's to get the ball rolling. And then after 6 months or a year, they say, okay, you know what? There's really no reason to have all this cash out there. We're gonna set that limit now to $2,000. So you can't pay anything in cash over $2,000. That's going to be illegal. We don't want you to hold that much cash. And we already know the banks don't hold that much cash. And then you can kind of see where it goes from there. And then at some point after that, they decide, you know what? There's no reason for you to have cash any longer, right? Everybody pretty much just pays with a debit card or a credit card, or your Cash App or your Apple Pay, whatever it is, right? A lot of us don't really use cash that often. it might be a little scary because obviously that's your financial independence, right? You can take cash and go spend it wherever you like, and there's really not a trail, linking you to these different financial transactions, right? And that's the nice thing about having cash. Most people, though, will go right along with it. A vast majority, I believe, will go right along with it, and you will get to a point to where there's just a rowdy few that are going to be complaining the loudest, and then everybody's going to call them conspiracy theorists, and you can't just conform to what's going on, in our society. Well, why do you need cash anyway? Are you doing something illegal, right? That's where we're headed. So to me, it's either going to happen kind of an overnight thing, some major catastrophe happens, or it's kind of a slow boil, and they really just kind of get people used to the idea of no longer having cash, and then it switches to digital currencies, CBDCs, and then they got you, right? That's where we're going. So where was I? The firm also notes it doesn't plan to usurp traditional finance, right? They're not coming in here to break up the banks and try to supplant fiat with XLM, right? That's not going to be their goal here, but rather work closely with the sector and build on top of it. The vision requires blockchain and traditional finance to work together to ensure the systems are interoperable to work as seamlessly as possible. This is what's going to need to happen as they slowly phase out fiat and move into digital. This is what this is the kind of expertise they're going to need to make that work. This body will serve as an excellent opportunity for conventional finance and blockchain to find the present and future prospects for integration to ensure the integrity and competitiveness of U.S. market, right? We're falling behind here in the U.S. when the SEC refuses to give clear guidelines for crypto companies, and all they're going to do is just sue them and try to sue them out of existence. That's really the SEC's primary job right now. That's what they're doing. Okay, so that's the deal about XLM. Now we had something else that came out just a couple of days ago, and this is Binance says Signature sets transaction minimums amid pullback. So Signature Bank, which is in New York, is just one bank, but they're a fiat partner for Binance. They can onboard and offboard your crypto on the Binance exchange. So Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, said Signature Bank will only handle user transactions of more than 100,000 as the bank decreases exposure to digital asset markets. So this is the SWIFT system. They're saying they're not going to utilize the SWIFT system, the messaging platform, in order to move money for smaller transactions. It has to be more than 100,000. One of our fiat banking partners, Signature Bank, has advised that it will no longer support any of its crypto exchange customers with buying and selling amounts less than 100,000 USD as of February 1, 2023. This is the case for all of their crypto exchange clients. As a result, some individual users may not be able to use SWIFT bank transfers to buy sell crypto less than $100,000, Binance said in a statement to Bloomberg News. No other banking partners are impacted, a Binance spokesperson said. So here is what's going on. Now, this is just one bank, right? People are saying, what's the big deal? It's just one bank. But this is one bank out of many banks that could easily do this. The banks can now try to control their customers' money and say, hey, we don't like the idea of you putting your money, taking it through our bank and going into crypto, right? We feel that we know what's better for you than you know what's better for you. So we're going to limit the exposure that you're going to have, thus the bank's going to have, and we're going to not really try to make it difficult for you to transact through crypto. Now, this is just the SWIFT system at this point. Right? You can still use your debit card or credit card. That doesn't run on SWIFT. If you're doing wire transfers, bank-to-bank transfers, things like that, that's where it comes in. So it doesn't seem like it's a huge deal, but to me, this is just the beginning. This is where the things are starting, right? Put this together with the other story I was just telling you about, Stellar XLM, and working with the CFTC. Banks can also be working on the other end of this to really try to push people out of crypto until the whole system is ready. Contagion fears in the digital asset market have reached traditional finance companies such as Signature and Silvergate Capital, which saw its shares tumble as much as 40% after the bank disclosed its customers withdrew about $8.1 billion of digital asset deposits during the fourth quarter. All right, most of that was because of FTX, and they had strong holdings with FTX. So they lost a ton of money. This shift comes after the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation warned of crypto asset risks. The FDIC is the primary U.S. federal regulator of banks that are chartered by the states that do not join the Federal Reserve System. So if you could know what FDIC is, right, that's the deposit that you have at your traditional bank account that says if something bad were to happen, we're going to back your account up to $250,000. If you have $100,000 in that account, the bank goes down for some reason, they liquidated your assets, it got lost, burned up, somebody committed fraud and took all your money, they're going to give you your money back up to $250,000 per account. Now, this does not exist in crypto. If you hold crypto on an exchange, there is no insurance for that. If you lose that money, if the exchange goes under, and I've warned of this multiple times, you're not going to get your money back. A federal judge has ruled recently, as just a few weeks ago, that customer deposits on an exchange are no longer your money. They don't belong to the customer. They belong to the exchange at that point. If the exchange is insolvent and they can't pay their creditors, the exchange now has the legal authority to just take your money and use that to pay their bills. That's what they can do. That's what a judge has stated already. I think that was Gemini. I forget which one it was. So really dealing a blow to the consumer, you and me out there who are, hold our, a few $100s or a few $1,000s on some of these exchanges. Understand that is no longer your money. If you have it on Coinbase, you got it on Binance, you got it on these other exchanges that you feel comfortable with, understand at the end of the day, they're going to be able to take your money if they need it, or if they say they need it, right? If they're facing bankruptcy, they're facing liquidity issues, right? Now they're going to say, hey, look at the precedent was set. Your deposits now become our deposits, so thank you very much. Now we can pay our bills with your money. It's a crazy situation, but that's really what's happening out there. So protect yourself. Keep it off of central exchanges to the fullest extent that you can. So there are two different stories. You can piece them together in the overall larger picture and say, I can see these things coming, right? It's not going to happen tomorrow. It may not happen next year. It may take, 3, 4, 5 years for this to really start snowballing. And if you're paying attention, you're going to see it coming. If you position yourself properly out there in the crypto world and get yourself certain assets. I can't tell you what to buy or what to sell. I'm not a financial advisor. I can barely handle my own money. Ask my wife. She'll tell you. And that's it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy the content. If you did, like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. It does help my channel grow, and that's the entire reason I'm here, is to entertain you and give you guys some news, something to think about maybe for the night. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.